Hello, everyone. This is Chala, Dincoy, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. You are here at another amazing episode of my podcast called Polish My Pitch. And the lucky guest, the lucky victim today is Sean Sheppard, joining us from his backyard, which is clearly warmer than Toronto. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you, Chala. Happy to be here.
I'm sure you're much happier than I am right now. That is for sure. That is way for sure. So I'm so happy to have you here. And as all of our listeners know, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself as if you're introducing yourself to a prospect and do your elevator pitch, and then we'll go from there. So I will start your timer. Go for it.
Great. My name is Sean Sheppard. I'm a serial tech entrepreneur turned venture capitalist, turned frustrated venture capitalist because my companies were failing, not because they couldn't build products, but because they couldn't build markets. And I've moved into doing startup and venture building for corporations and digital innovation labs as a service. Most innovations fail, and they fail because of markets and people, and the lack of stage relevant skill set and mindset of the teams of people who are trying to execute on those new innovations. And so that's why I bought a stake in a 12-year-old company called User Technologies, or what we like to call for short U+, which does corporate venture building and digital innovation as a service for the Fortune 1000.
All right, great. Now, do I have your permission to polish?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, you're already so successful. You can go without for 90 more years without getting any polish, but I might as well just throw in my 2 cents. And how amazing is it that you were willing to do this? Because you certainly don't, need to change.
I'm always trying to learn, every day I want to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. That's my goal.
It's so funny. The most successful people that I meet are interested in more feedback. It's just so amazing. So kudos.
Feedback is a gift.
Yeah, kudos to you for that. Okay, so the way that I do my elevator pitches is as a hook to get, a one-liner to just get the meeting. And the thing that I would love to change about yours is, one, I'd like to make it briefer. So I'd like to make it a one-liner. And two, I'd like to make it a little bit more focused and niched so that we can have a super niche where you're meeting someone in that industry and they're like, oh my God, that just happened to us last week. So give me an industry that you'd like to double your business in.
I would say financial services.
Okay. And give me the number one type of most expensive problem you solve for them.
They need a continuous innovation strategy, and they need a repeatable, predictable, scalable approach towards launching new digital products and services to meet the needs of their customers in today's marketplace. COVID is accelerated digital transformation for everyone. And legacy companies, in order to stay relevant and competitive, need to find new business models through digital products and services.
I love that. Okay. So especially financial, right? Especially financial. So let's either make up a statistic that we can verify later, or, if you already know of a statistic around this pain point. And so the pain point is, if they can't launch the new digital product, is it fast enough or it's just a fail?
Yeah, so there is actual statistics that over 95% of corporate innovations fail, and only 6% of corporate leaders are happy with their innovation agenda and strategy.
So can we parlay that into the financial services in some way? Do you think that number is worse or better for digital products, especially during COVID?
We don't know today. We don't have, let's say, real-time data over the last year. There hasn't been enough, the data hasn't been updated to suggest that what's going on in this space during COVID is either more or less successful, but that's over the last 15 years, for example. 52% of the S&P 500 from the year 2000 no longer exists. These companies are out of business. And the change that's occurring and the pace of change in the market is something that these companies need to respond to. And my experience has been, when you're trying to take new products to market with innovative people, you're oftentimes dealing with less innovative people inside of a corporation that don't have the right stage relevant skill set or mindset to execute well. And most of the failure occurs within the execution itself.
Okay, so let me just take a step back. What I'd love to start your one-liner with is a pain stat around the financial services that relates to the launching of new products. So in your opinion, is it the stillborn, like is it the launch is a failure, or is the number one most expensive problem, or is it that it's delayed?
It's that it doesn't actually achieve the business outcomes.
Okay, so and that you gave me the 95% of innovations fail, but then you gave me another stat around that, the pain of the objectives. So what percentage never achieve is it probably financial goal, right?
Yeah, they don't even they don't stay in market longer than 3 years, 95% of innovations.
Okay. So I wonder how much that costs the company. Do you know how when you lose a head count, it's 100% of their income or 100% of their salary? What is the stat around if they it's $1 million launch and it 90% of it fails? Yeah. So do you have any sort of number in the financial services? And it doesn't have to be accurate. Like you could.
No, it's a good question. I don't have that, but I know that they invest, a ridiculous amount of money in failed products.
Right. So if I could dream, that would be your one-liner. So if you're meeting with a financial services executive who's going to hire you, and you happen to, say pass the salt, or in this case, it's more like the Zoom. So you would say something like, hey, and they say, what do you do? Then you would say something like, did you know that there's like 9 billion lost per year in the financial services because of the digital products that never achieve their sales objectives. They fail within 3 years. What we do is we fix and you were saying the people and the execution part, or whatever that part is. What we do is we fix the people who are executing it, or the people in the execution part, whatever that is, to make sure that. How much do you improve that, do you think?
Yeah, we bring the actual startup teams in a box, if you will, and do the work for them, right? We're not just teaching it, we're actually doing the work.
Yeah. We fix that by doing the work. And then start. So that the launch is how much 100% successful, 100% of the launches?
No, well, I guarantee 3 things. I guarantee that you will find the truth about where a product fits in the market, if it does at all, and what to do about it. I guarantee that you will create a functional learning organization out of the people who are responsible for pursuing that truth to accelerate the path there, do it faster, better, and cheaper. And then the third thing is to find predictable, scalable, profitable revenue or impact if it's a social venture.
Okay, so again, like you obviously didn't say that in your elevator pitch, but that would be too much to say anyway. So what I would love in your one-liner is the problem cost, the industry, the problem cost, and then how you solve it. And it would be one of those things. It would be like we do the actual launch for you, so that we first find out if it's a good fit for the market, or just name
what I hear from the clients is that they lack the skill set and resources to execute well on new innovations.
Perfect. Which is the digital product launch.
That's right. So they will typically have different people from different parts of the organization that have never taken something new to market, trying to work together to take something new to market. Marketing people over here, brand people over here, product development people over here, supply chain people over here, business leaders, stakeholders, et cetera. And it's a hot mess.
Yeah. No, so I like that one-liner. What do you think? Because hearing it, like from outside of the industry, just as a regular business person, when you talk about all that innovation and all the jargon, it takes me completely away from, like, I really now deeply understand what you do when you tell me, and I am in the finance industry, let's say, and you do say, you have a $9 billion problem where you're launching, dead products, new dead digital products. What we do is we actually do the launching for you so that we reduce that rate by half, or so that we make sure that, at least a quarter of them more succeed than they would have.
Yeah, reducing the failure rate, helping them find the truth, and creating a continuous innovation platform for them. But I like what you're saying about putting a dollar value to the cost of failed innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you could find some sort of average of how much of that you save for them in terms of maybe not even the dollars, but the percentages of, like, at least we save half of those projects, kind of thing. And the rest of the stuff is how you do it. And like, I'm less interested in the how. In your one liner, I want to hear about the what, because that's 70% of humans purchase based on pain. I don't care who they are, right?
Right.
So that's the whole messaging. So you've been polished.
Thank you, Chala. That was very helpful. I'm going to implement that immediately. I got to go find some revenue statistics.
Awesome. That didn't hurt, right?
No, love it. Feedback is a gift.
Well, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Chala.